Welcome to the NY Patriot Show. This episode, I got Teresa with me. What is going on? I got Teresa from Spiritual Gangsters. Hey, what's going on, girl? How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Thank you. And I'm glad you made it. I appreciate you jumping on.
Of
And I
course.
got Thrash with me. What's up, Thrash? What's going on?
What's up? It's going.
All right, good, man.
Tired
Did you
from
eat the
work.
gummies yet? Did you eat the gummies yet, or did you wait?
I think I might hold off on it.
Oh, okay. All right.
Sometimes they get a little overboard by the middle of the show.
Yeah. The MK Ultra series, about every 50 minutes in, I got to take out an edit. I'm starting to notice.
I'm about like this.
It's always like, oh, the gummies. All right. Enough of that. And then we got Joe from Connect Those Dots. What is going on, my man? How are you?
What up, NY?
I know this has been a long time in the making. I think I've
a long time coming. We've been in contact for a while, bro.
Yeah, I've asked you like 2 or 3 times and like fucked it up constantly, but now we're finally here. So I thank you for being, I guess, having patience with me.
The stars have aligned.
Yes. So for people who don't know who you are, let everybody know what your deal is, what your show's about, and all that.
Yeah, the show's Connect Those Dots. Boom. We got shirts coming in. The show's actually starting to have some traction, pop off, but doing it for a little bit less than 2 years now. Started as only a little. Yeah, what happened?
Yeah, I thought you've been doing it for at least over a year now.
A little bit under 2 years. In January, it'll be 2 years. And it started off as only Spotify, so it was like only audio. And then not until recently, I've only done probably like 20-something video podcasts now, exclusively on Rumble. And what I discovered is that doing the video podcast really is more engaging for people. And the show is really starting to get traction now. And what I do on the show essentially is what the name is. It's as cliche as it sounds. We talk about all the topics going on in the world. We talk about all these weird things that are clogging up the news cycle, why they want us to care about it, why the Mockingbird media is pressing things, what it leads to, what's the end game, whether it's the LGBTQI plus agenda, whether it's the vaccine agenda, whether it's the global warming, climate change agenda, whether it's any of the transhumanism agenda. I connect them and weave them together and see how they're not mutually exclusive to each other. And really, they all sort of hinge upon each other. And the end game is always depopulation and control.
Yeah. Well said, my man. Well said. Yeah.
And it's been going good, man.
You do a lot of good video stuff. I mean,
I try to make like really good reels. I try to like keep it engaging. What really got me activated, and I'm sure you guys will like this story. Everybody always likes the origin story. Everybody likes to hear how Wolverine got the adamantium in his skeleton and how Spider-Man got bit by the spider. I'll tell you my origin story. I worked at Sirius XM for 5 years, Sirius XM satellite radio, and worked my way up through their programming department. And then when the COVID happened, I know it's going to happen. It's COVID. They wanted everybody to get vaccinated, of course, and sent my religious exemption to them. And they did not accept my religious exemption. Long story short, it was an HR woman in Atlanta with a bald head who I never met before was the sole arbiter of whether my religious exemption would be accepted or not. And it did not get accepted. And they were like, Joe, you have until July 4th, Joe, to get your vaccine. And it's funny, that was the deadline that they put for me, July 4th. And I was like, you know what? You guys like officially creeped me the hell out. Like, I'm out. I quit. Yeah. And I was doing Connect Those Dots while I was still working for Sirius XM. So I was almost like a double agent. I'm getting red pilled. I'm learning all this stuff. I'm learning about the New World Order. I'm getting the download. I'm learning about eugenics. I'm learning about the depopulation agenda. I'm seeing the clips of the WEF. I'm learning who Klaus Schwab is. I'm learning about all this stuff. And I'm working for a very sort of woke ESG company. So I'm like this double agent, like when the Black Lives Matter thing was going on, everybody's got the fist in their Zoom. When the LGBTQI plus month was popping off, everybody's got the rainbow background in their Zoom. It's like, I was like, dude, like, wow, like this is nuts. I'm on an island here. And the people that I worked with, the people that like I was like cultivating friendships with, it's funny how like as smart as you think they are and like as intellectual as you think people are, it's just amazing how people can't fucking connect those dots, man. It's like really just amazing how people can like just go about their day and not see that it's weird to forcibly inject somebody through the corporate system with something that they don't want to be injected with. You know, like all of these things, man, don't see that it's weird that little kids want to chop their dicks off. So I'm like, I'm just out here. I'm like, dude, like this isn't for me. And I started making connect those dots because of the skills that I learned through Sirius XM. You know, I was talking my mom's head off all day and night. I was like, Mom, they're trying to inject us with mRNA technology. There's a depopulation goal. Oh my God. Klaus Schwab, he's a literal James Bond villain. Mom, you got to see this stuff. He's like, why don't you just do a podcast? Why don't you just get a microphone and do it yourself? And I did it, you know, and you know, here we are, you know, NY Patriot.
That's cool.
There you are. That's amazing. Didn't you feel like in those meetings that you were like trying not to be found out or something? Like you had to be like incognito?
I felt a little like,
it's
I mean, it was almost like kind of 1984 kind of like thought crime. Like they don't want to like you kind of can't show your hand.
Yeah, you're like, do they know what I'm thinking right now?
Yeah,
right?
the thought criminals will like freaking come after you, you know? So like you got to keep it sort of close to the vest. But I would talk to the people that I was close with. I'd be like, dude,
Yeah.
do you know what the World Economic Forum is? Have you ever heard of the Great Reset? Have you ever heard who Klaus Schwab is? Do you know? No, dude, never heard of it. No, man, no. It's like, just look into it for yourself. Why do I have to sit here and be your babysitter? But that's sort of why I started to connect those dots with the whole cliche of like, if I could just reach one person, it would be worth it, you know. Like so, but now we're getting the bigger reach. I feel like everybody sort of needs to have that moment that they start with. If I can only reach one person, it would be worth it. Now we're having the bigger reach. I'm appearing at Reawaken America tour with Clay Clark. I've had guests on my show from Maria Z to Jay Dyer, Matt Baker, Nick Natoli. We're like Owen Schroyer. I've been on InfoWars with Harrison Smith now. I've been on OAN with Allison Steinberg. Like it's actually really starting to pop off and pay off.
Nice. Good for you. Good for you. Yeah. There was something when you guys had mentioned before. It was just funny because when you said you're like on these Zoom meetings and everybody's got these flags up behind them. I was like having like flashbacks from like when I went on an OTO Zoom. And it's just like, I find it funny how it's like, you know, when we're all somewhere safe behind a computer screen, all of a sudden we could start telling everybody what the fuck we think too.
Yeah.
It's just funny how like that's when the promoting happens because, you know, it doesn't matter what the fuck you say.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah, it's just funny how it just seemed to get like real big behind a computer screen.
That's a funny phenomenon. It's funny how like all of these big agendas really started hitting the fan when the COVID lockdowns happened, you know, from everything from the LGBT to the trust of science to the climate change hysteria really ramping up, the open borders, the stand with Ukraine stuff. So like it really all sort of happened since everybody was isolated in their own little matrix pods.
Yeah. True.
It's a good observation.
Yeah, no, it was just because like you were saying that, and like I was just like thinking about like there was people that I was associated with for a while that like until all this shit happened when we were locked down and you know the OTO at the time sided with the CDC. I think they stuck with the CDC the whole fucking time. So they closed, but yet the churches were still open. They closed and they started doing Zoom meetings and like real fast I found out a lot of people's beliefs and political views that I never fucking knew years prior.
I mean, bro.
Well, it's amazing how this comes out when you're behind a fucking screen.
Dude, we had a new hire, like, and you know, they introduced themselves to the people, like, oh, this is our new hire over the Zoom, our new remote hire. Meanwhile, I had to be an intern, work my way up as a part-timer, and then I could finally be full-time. But here's our new completely full-timer, and it's a chick in a do-rag. It's obviously a woman, right? And she's like, hi, everybody, I'm Shaquanda, they, them. Like, and it's like, bro, these people are really out here saying that they're they, thems. And they feel confident enough on their little Zoom screen to be like, yo, I'm a they, them. I'm obviously a woman. You can easily see that I'm a woman. I'm not a woman, but this individual that I'm describing, you know, And she says, I'm they, them. I'm like, wow, these people really are out here, huh? And like when you work for the liberal corporations, obviously with the ESGs and all that type of stuff and the diversity hires and diversity and inclusion, you got all that stuff. You get the chicks with the do-rags who say that they're they, them, and they automatically get a full-time position at a Fortune 500 company.
Honestly. But okay, wait though. Okay, so when we all went into like lockdown mode, working from home, whatever, don't you think it did backfire on them a little bit because a lot more people had a lot more time to investigate?
Backfire
Right?
on like, the globalists.
Yeah, but you know what? I think that was kind of part of it because I hate to say it, I hate to sound,
Yes.
I think 80% of that investigation is just believing more fairy tales than lies.
Well, that's true. So it depends
You
how
actually,
deep
like,
how deep you
they
go
all
with it.
now.
And that's why then they have like controlled, mouthpieces on podcasting and other forms of
Yeah.
media because they know some of us will go a certain direction. So they got to put their blockers there, put their blockers there. But
Yeah.
I mean, at the end of the day, still a lot more people know a lot more things than they used to.
There's a lot more people
I think
questioning.
both are true. I don't think it needs to be mutually exclusive from one another. It's a success in the sense that yes, more people have gotten awake, myself included. I was always sort of I had an inclination to like conspiracy stuff. I always loved when Alex Jones would go on the Joe Rogan Experience and all that type of stuff, and Eddie Bravo, listen to these people, and like I'd always get a real good kick out of it. I always loved like dystopian sci-fi movies, Blade Runner, Matrix, all these things. So I always had like a proclivity for this type of, I guess, like genre, conspiracy genre. But then it really took all this stuff, COVID, all these things bombarding us at once, BLM and all this stuff, like to really awaken me to how real it actually was and not just something you enjoy as a novelty, So there's that. But then as NY just said, it's true because like they obviously knew that people were going to get more awake. I don't think they anticipated the huge amount of awakening because they really see everybody as sheeps and bugs and nothing. They hate everybody. So like they were a little bit surprised of how many people were awake because they say it themselves. They're like, we can't believe that not everybody didn't take our vaccines. We cannot believe that there were people that saw through our propaganda. Like Gates says it, the CEO of Moderna says it, the CEO of Pfizer, they all say it, we cannot believe that they don't take our vaccine. We cannot believe that they don't believe in big pharma, so they didn't anticipate for this, but it's only going to get worse. It's only going to ratchet up, man. It's only going to, we're just seeing biblical prophecy play out. We're learning how real the devil is. And that's why a lot of people are seeking God more than ever before.
That's true.
I think, definitely seeing the devil right now.
Well, evil has a purpose,
Say it.
So,
yeah, guys.
Yeah.
I can tell you the type of shit I experienced when I was working at Sirius XM. I could tell you like
yeah. Let's hear some of that before we get into a couple.
Can I give you a little story about XM for you?
Dude, go for it. Yeah.
So I got my grandpa into it when it first came out, because he hated radio and he always liked to find new bands and stuff and commercials. So we put it in like all his old trucks, like 1980s pickups and all kinds of stuff. Well, eventually he canceled it in one of the cars. And for, I think it was like 3 or 4 years after he canceled it, he still had the full membership. He wasn't charged for it. Nothing. So somehow they were so disorganized that even though he canceled it, he still had the service for like 3 or 4 years.
Damn, dude, your grandpa's lucky because like they're like friggin' Gestapo with that shit. They got a whole team like making sure they cancel your ass account. They got a whole team making sure that like they can probably keep you on the fishing hook a little bit longer, to keep you incentivized. But I know they take that shit seriously. I used to have free accounts when I worked there. As soon as I got fired, all my free accounts gone. Beep, boop, like literally like in the snap of a fingers. On my last day working there, I couldn't even access my email. Like they friggin' got me out so quick. They were like, this guy wanted a religious exemption. This guy didn't want to get vaccinated. This guy's not like us. This guy's, we gotta wipe him away from us as soon as we can. That's like kind of what it felt like a little bit. But I'll tell you, speaking of your grandpa wanting to find new bands, I worked for the heavy metal and hard rock division. I worked for Octane and I worked for Liquid Metal. So I literally was curating and finding new bands on like a weekly, monthly basis. You know, I there were bands that I would dig in the crates for just because I like the music. You know, just I want to hear new metalcore. I want to hear new music. I really like. I like it. It's cool. It gets me pumped up. You know, I like it. I dig in the crates. I would pride myself on getting these new songs played on the air, and I would get bands signed, like unsigned bands. I'd get their songs played on Octane, and then a few months later, I'd see them signed to record labels. It's not like I was out here saying like, "Oh, I need the recognition. I should get the credit for it." I didn't give a fuck about that. I knew I was, just contributing to the channel. And it's just funny because like you work in the hard rock and heavy metal division, and then all the people you work with are like, yeah, dude, just get the vaccine, bro. Like, just give it corporate overreach, bro. Just like let the big pharmaceutical companies get under your skin, bro. It's like, dude, I thought you were metal, man. Like, what happened to metal?
Is that the Jose impersonation?
Yeah, it's no names.
That's funny. Yeah, that was my grandpa's favorite, was the liquid metal and all the metal stuff.
I love those guys. Those guys are awesome. I love all those people, and like I don't really keep in touch with them. I tried to. They've ghosted me, but I've tried to keep the bridge still stable, but I don't have any animosity toward them. I just find it, weird because like you say how metal you are, and you say everything like we're about metal and all this stuff. It's like, dude, like metal is rebellion. Metal is rage against the machine, not rage on behalf of the machine. Fuck you if you don't do what you're told to. Fuck you if you don't do what you're told to.
It's some powerful social engineering, right? How they totally like inversed all that we've known socially for like the last 50 years. Like it's totally fucked.
Yeah, I think I said this shit one other time on a show. During COVID, I was food shopping, and either need to put something back. I had to go grab something, and my wife was online, so I'm like going back to produce, and I'm like going past the whatever that area that you can go to for help. I forgot the name of it. Whatever, customer service and shit like that. And the fucking kid is standing there with a mask on, and like he went to go turn around for something. He had a mask on and a Master of Puppets fucking t-shirt on. And I was like, I even went up to him. I was like, do you realize how crazy this looks right now? I shit you not. I said something to him. I said, this is fucked up.
Dude, that's the thing that I was having this thought the other day. That's why there hasn't been any good comedy movies out recently, because the world around you is literally the comedy movie. The joke and the punchline are as soon as you go into the supermarket and you see the guy in the Master of Puppets shirt wearing the mask, like
I was like, yo, I was like, you can't write this shit.
Clown world.
My local grocery store, there's one guy that's worked there, and he's always has a metal shirt on, always. And he has never stopped wearing the mask. He still wears it every day, outside, everywhere he goes. Freaking crazy, man. I think the same thing, like the punk stuff and the metal. I always thought that was like anti-establishment and all that kind of stuff. And it's like
supposed to be, but they co-opt all the anti-establishment stuff and make it pro-establishment. They try to make you 100%. Think you're anti-establishment by going with the corporate establishment, which is completely inverted and satanic. And I'll give credit to Jose, because he actually, when the day I left, he hit me up and he was like, hey, dude, like, I know you're doing this for like what you think are the right reasons. And like, you know what, like I have like a mad respect for you. And like, I wish nothing but the best for you. And I can say the same thing about Jose. I like those guys. I still send them songs like, yo, here's this new Veil of Maya song. Hey, here's this. Hey, here's that, bro. Like, you should check this out. You should put this on the test drive. Because I just like, I like it. It's not like I want recognition. It's not like I want to be coddled. But 100 times out of 100, I would still make the same choice and not get vaccinated. I'm never taking that fucking shot. On principle alone.
I don't blame you.
Yeah,
Agreed.
and like, dude, I
No,
don't
I
even
agree.
want to get a fake Vax card because, like, that's what people were saying. Like, dude,
No,
just
I knew somebody that I could have possibly actually have paid to actually be put into the system, and like saying that they actually gave it to me.
yeah, dude. But then it's
I
like,
was like, and
dude,
I'm just
I got
I'm
a
a fucking
fake.
statistic to the people that supposedly said yes.
No, I don't want to. Yeah, I don't even want to
That's
be
weird.
included in.
Like, I'll feel dirty. I'll feel gross. It's like you're almost like giving into it, man. It's like, and it's not gonna help anybody. It's not gonna do anything for anybody. It's just gonna continue the tyranny. You're enabling the tyranny if you do that shit. Especially for something stupid like a fucking job.
Yeah, where you're completely replaceable anyway.
Exactly. Where they drop me like a bad habit. You know what I mean? They don't friggin' remember me. They don't talk to me. You know, it's over.
Yep, exactly.
But it's all good because God's always got plans. If you just like be like, dude, like, yo, dude, God, yo, dude, God, like, just forge the path for me and like just use me and like just put me in situations where I can be used and like I know things aren't immediate because everything's on your timeline and I'm only moving in a linear timeline and you see the omnipresent timeline, but I believe you and I trust you and I know you're gonna lead me through any of this. So that's what I always say, and it's really been manifesting. It's really been manifesting.
Good for you, man. So, I mean,
And
I know
you can learn, man. Like, sorry, I haven't stopped talking. I'm such a fucking
no,
blabber.
That's why you're here.
Listening is probably like this guy hasn't shut the fuck up since we started the podcast. But no, like, I mean, that's what you can do. Like, you can get it's all you got to do is say no. And even if you're afraid, even if you think it's weird, even if you think like you're not going to be able to bounce back from losing your job or whatever it is that they're dangling in front of you like a carrot in a hostage situation, you can say no to them and you're going to realize, like, wow, that was real easy. And I feel empowered. Oh my God, I feel empowered. Because when you say no to these tyrants, you feel like the Super Saiyan energy just flow right through you immediately. I mean,
anybody that I know that said no to it and left their job and went somewhere else were all happy about that decision because they ended up finding a job that they actually liked better.
facts.
A lot of them more money too. And there was
Yeah.
probably at least a dozen people that I knew either through podcasting or fans, listeners that I knew that quit and were like, "Yo, like I love my job now."
I think the whole thing is like it's an underlying exposure of your values, right? Like it's more than just like sticking something in your arm or not. It's like a whole yay or nay vote for, to be cliche, good or evil, honestly.
Mm-hmm. It's
So it's more than that. And if you were in a job where they were forcing you to do that, you're probably not aligned with those people above you forcing you to do that. So
wow. So you want to hear something about this? I was having trouble. I tell this story all the time, but it's good for you guys because you guys never heard it. Maybe your audience probably never heard it either. I was having trouble with the decision. I was like, damn, I kind of miss working at Sirius. I kind of miss being the Octane guy. They had plans for me. They wanted to promote me. I was going to be a program director, blah, 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 blah. Like having like these uncertain thoughts, And I was like, God, just show me that I made the right decision. Just communicate with me, reassure me. I'm just asking for like a little bit of a sign, right? And then I'm listening to it was Jason Burmis, right? I'm listening to Jason Burmis in my car, and he's talking about an individual named Martine Rothblatt. And if you don't know who Martine Rothblatt, he is the most financially successful transgender person on the planet. He used to be Marty Rothblatt and is now Martine Rothblatt. And he is the most financially successful transgender person, and he's also a transhumanist. And he wrote the book called Transgender to Transhumanism. Also has starting his own religion based on transhumanism, where it's about uploading your consciousness to the cloud. He has a copy of his wife's, when he was Marty Rothblatt, he was married, he has 3 children. He has a copy of his wife's consciousness downloaded onto an AI, onto like a disk drive. And he's waiting, like, full bore. This guy has a book. It's called Transgender to Transhumanism by Martine Rothblatt. Why am I talking about Martine Rothblatt? I'm like, why do I know this name? Why have I heard this name? Martine Rothblatt was the inventor of the Sirius satellite radio. And
Stop.
I'm listening. This is literally like 5 minutes after I'm saying, God, like, please reassure me, give me a sign, show me something. And I'm listening to Jason Burmis, and he's talking about Martine Rothblatt, and I get fucking chills all over my body. I'm like, wow, God, like that was real fast, man. Wow.
Confirmation received. Holy jeez.
Yep.
Wow.
Isn't that something? Isn't that some shit?
That's wild.
Because like people are always like, I don't know if God's talking to me. I don't know how to communicate with God. I don't really know how to recognize the communication. Whenever you experience like a synchronicity or a coincidence or like some like weird aw shucks moment, that's like God's like language, essentially. That's like the universe talking to you and planting the seeds in you, communicating with you. So, and there was no other example that I can turn to as blatant as that. It's not coincidence. It's spiritual. It's real. You're contacting.
Contacting something questionable. But yeah, I know what you're saying.
You're making contact.
Over here reading about her. Pretty
Martine Rothblatt.
MK Ultra like, or him, or whatever you want to call it.
They
Yeah,
them.
Oh,
Yeah.
so now I wanted to, because we're already like almost a half hour in, I did want to get through some of like, I know the topics that you've kind of like covered or went over, like the things we were talking about prior to the show. I
Yeah.
did want to get into some of those because I thought that was some interesting stuff with like the Doja Cat and the
Oh yeah, for
and like
sure.
your stuff on like Travis, whatever, fucking.
Yeah, that was one of my more recent episodes from 2 weeks ago. I did a bit of like an analysis, deep dive, dissertation, whatever the fuck you want to call it, about MK Ultra mind control and how we are attacked on a daily basis, whether we know it or not, with from subtle to blatant mind control attacks. And I talked about where did he go? He just disappeared.
I don't know. I'm sure he's coming back.
Well,
We'll
he's
see.
gonna
Go
miss
ahead.
out. We talked about I talked about how I talked about things like Clockwork Orange. You're back, NY. We thought we lost you for a second. I talked about things like a Clockwork Orange, right? I talked about how that's literal mind control in the Stanley Kubrick movie. Like it's not, even if you ask Chat GPT, it's like, what is the mind control tactic used in Clockwork Orange? Chat GPT literally says, that's called mind control or brainwashing. So, like, the tactic of peering the eyes back and like putting the screens in front of you, mind control tactic. And then I talked about the movie called it's on Netflix. It's a new movie. It's called They Cloned Tyrone, and how there are similar sort of aspects and themes of MK Ultra mind control in that as well. And then I equated it to things like we're seeing in the new Doja Cat music video. So a lot of breakdowns about this. I was kind of surprised that nobody really noticed this blatant aspect of it. Where I talked about it. We've seen Lil Nas X swirl down the stripper pole into hell and give Satan a lap dance. We've seen Sam Smith on the Grammy stage perform as Satan, do his whole Satan deal. We've seen, Taylor. We've seen Cardi B dancing with the snakes on the Apple and the WAP video. But we've never seen something so blatantly MK Ultra, textbook by definition MK Ultra, with the strobing light effect. If you look at her video for Demons, there's a constant strobing light effect that's a flicker rate and it's blasting. It's blasting disturbing images at you of her dressed up in this demon outfit. I'll give her prosthetics team credit. She looks pretty freaking like legit, I mean, damn, they did a good ass job. Certainly some Halloween level shit, but why does the flicker rate, the repetitious beat,
I was going to say the music, probably with
the music itself, the message, the wordplay and message, because that's everything in mind control. How are you going to mind control somebody if you don't have an actual message? It's how my demons look now that my packet's fat, or whatever the fuck she's saying. And it's all about like self-aggrandizement, loving yourself, like hating on other people, shitting on other people, making people fearful of you. So it's a whole message, and it's a repetitious audio, which is also MK Ultra mind control tactic, and the disturbing images, the flicker rate, the strobe effect, all of it And if you think about it, I always sort of equate it to the extreme. When you think about VR headsets, think about VR goggles. That's essentially like Clockwork Orange, but with the box over your face, right? You know, it's not your eyes peered back and you strapped in, but you're strapped in with the thing on your face. It's the only thing that you can see. Let's say you're strapped into a VR headset.
Well, you're willingly putting the mask on now, actually.
Exactly.
No
And
reason
they're
to
playing
try.
the Doja Cat. Let's say you got a VR headset on and they're playing the Doja Cat Demons video for you over and over and over and over again, and you can't fucking escape it. Clockwork Orange style. You think you're going to be affected? You think something's going to fuck you up? You think you're going to be like a little distraught? Yeah, no shit. And think about all the kids that hit replay on that music video and watched it multiple times. So that's a whole thing with me. And then I also talked about so that's like sort of the macro level. And then I talk about the micro level where you see something like Travis Kelce and his Pfizer ad. He's Mr. Pfizer now. He's Mr. Pfizer boy. And I talk about an example. So you're watching the Kansas City Chiefs game, right? Travis Kelce scores a touchdown for his team. Woohoo! He's cool. He's the badass athlete. He's scoring the points for his team. He's winning the game. Immediately, it cuts to his girlfriend Taylor Swift because he's dating Taylor Swift all of a sudden. All of a sudden, he's dating Taylor Swift. All of a sudden, he's Pfizer boy. It just happens to happen. Yep. Okay. Got it. And it cuts to his girlfriend, Taylor Swift. She's the ultimate pop star. She's the biggest pop star in the world. And she's cheering him on. She's with his family in the skybox. They love it so much. They're parading him, celebrating him. So, and then after that, cuts right to his Pfizer commercial, and it's showing him getting vaccinated. So let's break it down. This badass guy, this badass athlete that you look up to just is winning the game, and he's kicking ass, and he's this triumphant, athletic alpha male guy. He's dating the ultimate pop star of the world, okay? Taylor friggin' Swift. Okay, she's hanging out with his family, cheering him on, and now he's getting vaccinated. Don't you want to be like him, dummy?
Yeah, that's a pretty blatant one, and that's definitely on purpose. Because like I used to work in advertising and media placement and stuff. So like you plan, though, like a TV planner. There's literally somebody who plans the ads and like what order they go in, what duration. Sometimes they just put random ads if they have random space to fill, but like. That is 100% like on purpose.
Yeah, 100%.
For sure. Yeah.
The director in the control room probably couldn't wait to cut to the friggin' commercial. Now cut to the Pfizer commercial.
Pfizer gave them a nice, sweet, fat bonus to like, as soon as the Chiefs get a good play, especially Kelce, shove the ad in there right away. So
have it ready.
Yeah. But even to, it's interesting, Joe, like, I remember one time I was watching Saturday Night Live. And a friend of mine in the UK, NY knows who he is, Daryl. Daryl recorded the screen for some reason. I don't know why. And we were both watching the same episode. And he's like, did you just see what came on the screen? And I was like, no, what do you mean? Because it was like the skit ended and it went to commercial, whatever. When you slowed down his video, there was flashes of messed up images. Like even just in the split second of black, that it cuts from skit to commercial that you would never notice with your naked eye.
Yeah.
Just watching it randomly. But if you slowed it down, it was like probably what's in the Doja Cat video or what's in the Justin Bieber Where Are You Now video, where it's like, if you slow that stuff down, there's all these images coming at you.
Oh my God.
That you don't even consciously process. And it's all these subconscious images that go in your mind and you don't even know.
If you never saw this music video, you gotta see it. It's by Grimes, and the song is called Shinigami Eyes.
Oh, I think I've seen it. Yeah,
you gotta see if you want to. It's cool looking, but not to a red-pilled mind, to like a dot connecting mind. You see this imagery that Grimes is shooting at you with her music video and the lyrics behind it, dude. It's like. It's not MK Ultra, but the messaging behind it, and like from the beginning, there's a storyline to the music video, and you miss it if you're not aware of shit. Because if you're not aware, it's just flashing cool images and situations coming at you. But if you follow the story, you're seeing what's happening. And anybody that doesn't know, Shinigami Eyes is from the anime Death Note. So like the anime Death Note is about a high school kid that gets a notebook and he can write anybody's name in the notebook and kill anybody with the notebook. So that's what Death Note is about. And Grimes has taken that concept of Shinigami Eyes. So like if you have he's empowered by the Shinigami, which is a Japanese god of death, through the Death Note, okay? And with the Shinigami eyes, you can see people's names, you can see their age, you can have surveillance, full biometric surveillance. So what Grimes is talking about, and with the imagery she's using in her video, through AI, she's like this AI goddess in the music video, and she's acquiring the power of the Shinigami eyes, and she's talking about how she's everywhere, and she's the judge, jury, and executioner. And that's what the song is about, and that's what the music video is about. And by the end of the music video, her Shinigami eyes cover the entire planet. So that's full biometric AI surveillance, knowing everything about you by looking at you 24/7.
I bet that was Elon Musk's wet dream right there.
That's Elon Musk
watching her in that music video. He's like, oh my God, my wife is so fucking hot.
Yeah, there she is. She's right. Creepy, man. She's creepy.
Yeah, I'm looking at it now. There's the Masonic checkerboard.
Yep.
There's tons of close-ups on eyes and one eye specifically.
Wait till the end of the video. It's a fucking catchy song. I gotta give it to her.
She's interesting. Like if you're not aware, yeah, she totally freaks me out. I remember in like coming across her because she's Canadian, so am I. Coming across her many years ago when she was first starting out, and I was like, oh, she's got a cool sound. I was like, that's interesting. And then as I got more aware of things, I was like, no, girl.
Yeah,
stay the hell out of my ears.
It's good because like I'm a nerd, so I've actually watched Death Note, so like I know what she's talking about with Shinigami eyes, and I'm a red pill dot connector, so I understand the parallel that she's making with AI surveillance as the Shinigami eyes.
I never would have known that.
In the Death Note, he's the judge. So literally what happened, I kind of like a little bit of a spoiler. The kid with the notebook literally becomes like an antichrist figure and like is like sort of the god of the world and refers to himself as the god of the world. He actually achieves utopia through the Death Note, right? And so that's what she's equating to in the music video as well, because she's with her Shinigami eyes, she's judging you and executing you and seeing if you're righteous or not. So like that, it's really, you got to be real. I mean, like I'm one of the few people that might like see those connections because like I'm a fucking nerd and I watch Death Note and like I understand the red pill Shinigami eyes surveillance under the skin nonsense. So man, like that's a fucking deep one for sure.
Yeah, that is. Well, maybe Elon.
Yeah, it looked like there was
like the dude.
I'm sorry, Teresa.
No, go.
It looked like in the video there was a lot of like Nimrod symbolism.
Yeah,
looked like the bow and arrow and everything, and then she ends up killing him with the arrow. At the end.
She ends up killing him at the end, and it's like a televised like show too. It's like killing him on TV.
It was like a production. It looked like.
And then at the end, her Shinigami eyes cover the entire planet.
Yeah, and it's just like her eye, the planet is in the middle of her eye.
It's fucking cool looking. I'll give her that.
Damn. Wow, I'm just looking at the images and I'm like,
what's wild is like pop music, I don't even know, whatever you call that, and like rap or all this shit. It's like so fucking blatant.
I know. Isn't it so weird?
It's wild. Like if this shit was like back when we were kids.
I know. It's funny because like they always used to
the worst metal bands were back then. I think
it's funny because they always used to demonize metal as like the satanic music and the devil. But dude, I feel as soon as I hear some of these rap songs, bro, like with that friggin' beat, with that like low vibrational beat and like the mumbling, and then of course as we talked about the messaging, it's all just the most devilish fucking shit you're ever gonna hear. I listen to metal, man. It's about perseverance. It's about like picking yourself up and being motivated and being fucking badass, like Hate Breed and Slaughter to Prevail, shit like that. That's the type of metal I listen to, you know. but the average person just listens to like I don't know, like the Baby, or listens to NBA YoungBoy, or whoever like the big rappers are now. You are getting satanic fucking frequencies, man. You're getting it. And there's good rappers that you can actually listen to. You can listen to Bryson Gray. You can listen to Tyson James. There's actual good rappers that you can listen to that are fucking talented, that are good lyricists, and that aren't talking about satanic shit.
I don't even know who these people are. Sorry.
Yeah,
I look into it, though,
literally
yeah.
the most mainstream music seems to be the most satanic, where back
And
in
the
the
pop.
80s, the metal was kind of, it wasn't like the most popular unless you were into that kind of music.
Yeah, and it's like the pop music too. It's like, why is Doja Cat satanic? I actually met Doja Cat when I worked for Sirius XM. I met Doja Cat. I had a studio session with her. This was in 2019. It was for Shade 45. I had a studio session with her. She comes in and she's pretty. She's charming. She's nice. She's she's like humble. She's cool. She's like chatting it up with you. Looks cool. She doesn't look weird. And I was like, oh, because I never heard of her before that. I didn't know who the fuck she was. I saw her name on the list. I was like, oh, I got Doja Cat today. I don't know who the hell that's gonna be. Might be some ghetto ass shit. You know what I mean? And then she comes in and she's like this pretty girl, like nice, cool chick. So I was like, oh wow, Doja Cat, she's pretty cool. Fast forward to now, her whole shtick is like being the demon girl, is like being the devil chick. Every time I see her, she's like drenched in blood, or she's doing some weird fucking demon shit. She's in a pentagram, goes on and on and on. It's like she goes for it all the time. It's like, wow, I did really not expect this from you when I fucking first met you. It's like,
but
weird.
that's what they do. That's what they do. They take it, like her first big song, I think, was Woman. Very catchy, lots of fun. Like I put it in my Zumba class for a bit. Like it's good. It's a good time. But then they take like these wholesome people, like even Taylor Swift to a degree. She's not drenched in blood, but she's doing other fucked up shit.
Yeah.
In her concert, and the lyrics are getting like more weird and more blatant and like
for real, man.
Right?
Some of it's actually like karma takes all my friends to the summit. What does that even mean?
Or like
I mean?
I'm a sexy baby on a hill, or like something.
Yeah. It's a sexy baby. Like
my mother-in-law kills me for the money or something.
Yeah, yes,
What?
dude. It goes on and on. And the example you just gave with Doja Cat, it's no more blatant than Lil Nas X. He was the cool cowboy rap. I'm riding on a horse and I'm looking like a dork. All the little kids loved it, okay? And then all of a sudden, the next song after is the Montero song where he's fucking Satan. So like all these little kids that know him as the cowboy rapper, oh my god, I can't wait to hear Lil Nas X new song. They click on it and it's not even that he's fucking Satan in it. In the first part of it, he's like he's in the Garden of Eden and eating the apple from, and then he's the serpent, and it's goes
Adele too.
He goes into heaven and then he gets cast out of heaven and they sends him into hell, and then he after he gives Satan the lap dance, he fucking kills Satan and becomes Satan. That's what happens in that fucking music video.
I think it's interesting too, like, I don't know what you guys think about this. Nowadays, now I'm old, so I don't know, but I'm pretty sure they don't play music videos on TV like they used to. Like in my day, it was like
those weird channels.
You sat down and like watched in Canada as Much Music, and in the United States MTV, right?
I remember Much Music though. Anyway, we used to.
Much Music was the shit. Okay, it was, and showing you cool, interesting, alternative artists. It wasn't all like fully mainstream by any means.
Yeah.
You know where I first heard of Lady Gaga was from Much Music, way before she was
in
huge.
Toronto. That's right.
Yeah, so
Toronto.
Yeah, for sure.
Toronto.
Yeah, Toronto.
How do you spell Toronto? TNRO.
So a lot of people say it like as if it's spelled TURONNO, but it's Toronto. But we never say all the T's.
I was just in Montreal. It was the best.
Oh my god, it's so good there. It's my
fave.
My
god, the food is so fucking good there. Why is the food so goddamn good?
Montreal's way better than Toronto. Don't come here.
Yeah, I don't. I got mad family in Toronto, and I got family in Toronto, and I got family in Montreal, but I don't like going to Toronto. I don't really care.
No, don't come here.
Kind of boring.
Sorry, my point was that I think now they can make stuff more blatant like blatantly like sadistic and fucked up because music videos are only on the internet mostly. That you wouldn't be able to show that on like cable television. I mean, maybe you could now,
Maybe, I know, right? It's like
but
hard to say. There's definitely a point to what you're saying for sure.
I think the standards are just it's like a free for all because it's on the internet and it's like, okay, well, if you want to search up Lil Nas X's latest video, that's your problem because
Yeah.
you searched it yourself. It's not like parents can like call into Much Music and be like, you can't show that shit on TV. And like my 12-year-old watches this station. Like, there's no governing authority to say you can't show this. There's no standard.
Yeah,
You
no,
know what I'm
that's
saying? Right.
that's completely on point, and it's a desensitization kind of thing too, because we're constantly shown graphic images. We're constantly shown softcore porn on Instagram and all this shit like that. All the social medias where, like the music. It's like become part of the society. It's become like part of the fabric of society. I remember when I was in college, I was in communications is what I majored in. And we were in like a big conference. It was like a big sort of conference class. And they were showing this Miley Cyrus video. I think it was for Wrecking Ball. And she was like pretty much like half naked in the video. And like the professor was like, all right, so is this art? Does this constitute as art? And this was before I was red pill. This is like when I was like a sheep. I'm like, I don't know. It kind of borders on pornography to me, because she's really kind of like rubbing all over her body. And, I mean, I guess you can say it's art, but where do you draw the line when something becomes pornographic? Or can pornography be art? Like, where are we merging the two concepts together? And I swear everybody in the fucking room looked at me like I was crazy. I
Yo,
swear.
you sound like me. I did a
Yeah.
communications program, and that was always me in class.
Yeah.
And our professors would talk about, the elevation of low culture and the suppression of high culture, and how it's being like the scales are like tilting and stuff. And that's exactly what you're
And
talking
like
about.
when
And it's like some stuff is worth preserving. There has
Yeah.
to be a standard. Okay, just to go off of the Much Music thing. Sorry, we're totally like on a tangent. But like to go off of the Much Music thing, I wrote this post like on my Instagram years ago. I don't even know if it's still there. And I was arguing the point of like there has to be a tastemaker. There has to be a standard set. So now that we have all this choice of the internet, you have complete liberation, free choice of you can watch whatever you want and you can listen to whatever you want. You have 5,000 stations like Dire Straits or whatever, that band. There's like all these things on TV and nothing's on, right? It's because you don't know, as like a kid or a teenager, you don't know like what's good. How do you even know what's good?
Yeah.
That's why culture was better when you had people telling you what's good.
Yeah.
And therefore you could also have the rebellion and the counterculture to what's good.
Because there was a level of realism and authenticity to it now.
Exactly.
Now the tastemakers are just the agenda setters. So
well, now the tastemaker is like an influencer fucking bullshit on
and
Instagram.
they all got some weird agenda behind it too. Like, why do you think Doja Cat dresses up like a demon? It's not because she like chose that herself. It's because she was told to do it. Like, you're gonna be the demon girl now, all right? That's gonna be your whole shtick. Sam Smith, all right, whatever. You're non-binary, whatever. Do your thing. You want to dress up like a demon too? Yeah, mate. Let's do it. Let's dress up like a demon.
Well,
yeah.
Or you don't get your contract. You don't get your paycheck.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, like, and
do it or you're fucked.
People like I mentioned Bryson Gray. Like, he's a Christian rapper now, right? And he used to be on 106 in Park. And he used to actually be a rapper, like in a rap group that was making like millions of dollars. And he used to be like on the charts all the time. I forget the name of the group, but the record labels would tell them, you got to be more ignorant. Every song needs to be a booty shaking song. You got to be more explicit in your lyrics, and you got to make sure it's all about booty shaking and it's all about sex. If you make any songs that are not about booty shaking and not about sex, we can't publish the album. That's literally what he was told. So that's to me, that's micro, right? Imagine the macro.
Yep.
Imagine people like Meek Mill. Like, Meek Mill has he said this on stage. He's been like, they tell us, they incentivize us to rap about more ignorant stuff. The more ignorant shit we rap about, the more we get paid. NBA YoungBoy. He's one of the more recent rappers that are very popular now, and he says it himself. He's like, I can't. I think about all the deaths that I've caused. I think about all the people that my music has killed, because I can't believe I'm putting all this horrible lyrics in my music and influencing the youth. So I'm responsible for deaths uncountable, and that's how they get paid, because they're young kids coming out the hood, and they're like, wow, now you can make millions of dollars if you just be a little hoodlum and talk about how much of a hoodlum you are. And that's it. They're going to go for it. It's obvious. It's tough. Who can blame them? It's hard.
Yeah, that's how they're shaping culture. They're doing it from putting all this out there like they've always done. But it just seems like it's slowly getting crazier and crazier and crazier it's very strange. It's yeah.
It's something, isn't it? It's something, man. It's a satanic inverted world, man. Just satanic inverted world is really like the only thing that makes sense to me. Like when I try to make sense of it all, it's like none of it makes sense. And then I'm like, you know what? This is a satanic inverted world. I'm like, oh shit, now it fucking all makes sense.
So I've even been saying, I feel like just, like every 6 months or so, I feel like in some way, even I hate to say it, on both sides, like even with politics, I think how you can see some people actually flip-flop on things that they believed in not too long ago for a different reason. And it's almost as if there is a total contradiction just going on. Like it's just like so weird to me.
Yeah, like the biggest example.
Contradiction.
The biggest example recently is how the Democrats want a border wall now. Isn't that so hysterical? For years, they're telling you how racist and xenophobic and you're a Nazi if you want a wall and all this shit. And then it's like, oh, Biden says he wants a border wall. Then every Democrat, like an NPC, are like, well, it is the law. We do need to have a wall. It is the law. And it's like, bro, yesterday you were telling me I'm all these names because I want a fucking wall. Like, you can't realize how dumb you are, man. Like, oh, it gets me fucking nuts, bro. I swear. Like, it's infuriating.
It's really weird. Like, I've even said, like, just even from what I saw in New York, how we went from de Blasio to Eric Adams made no sense.
So
because you went from defund the police to I'm all about the police.
Yeah, I know.
And I'm like, no, do you realize what, like, you just flip-flopped?
That's why they're NPCs, dude. That's why the NPC meme is like the most accurate meme ever. And it will never get old because it's fucking scary how true it is. It's scary, man. I can't believe these people are fucking real. And like the people that are like, I can't believe we should never intervene in Ukraine. Everybody that puts a Ukraine flag in their bio, why don't you go fight in Ukraine? The minute they tell you Israel's under attack, I stand with Israel. A fucking Jordan Peterson out there. Go get him, Netanyahu. Go get him. Just make sure you clean your damn rooms first. Please. Make sure you clean your fucking bed first and then go get him.
Oh my god!
Don't forget to cry.
Unbelievable! Like,
don't forget to cry.
You infuriate me like the most because, like, you say how much of a Christian you are. I found God. I cry in every single podcast I'm on now because I found God and I clean my damn room, and and it's like unbelievable, bro. And now the moment that you can warmonger, you're fucking ready to do it.
Yeah, it's unreal.
You know what, Jordan Peterson? When everybody fucking bombs each other and all the houses are destroyed and all the infrastructure is destroyed, nobody's gonna have a fucking room to clean.
Yeah, it's a good point.
I always like to pop off on podcasts, so like
I like it. That's good.
It's a solid point.
Yeah. Seriously though, like it pisses me the fuck off. At least I'm consistent. At least I can say I don't support any of these foreign wars. We got so much fucking bullshit happening in this country. I don't give a shit about any of these other wars, man. There's a culture war, there's a spiritual war, there's a fucking gender war. They're trying to chop your kids' dicks off and chop your little girls' breasts off and do all this shit. We got an open border with criminals coming into this fucking country at an unreal clip. We got people like Bill Gates and Klaus Schwab and Yuval Harari that want to depopulate you. I mean, bruh. what are we doing? That's my perspective, folks. There you go.
I don't even like. I mean, I don't. I mean, maybe there is actual some sort of religion or spirituality behind this shit that's going on to them. It's in the script, at least.
It is.
You know what I'm saying? But it's
Yeah, I
like,
mean, it's
how
just
do
what the
the
biblical
left even
prophecy being played out.
respond to that? How do you, considering you're pretty much like not religious at all, how are you even going to have a say about any of this? And it's all coming down now to suppression and slavery, basically.
Yeah, I mean,
It's like, but to them over there, this has to do with like religion. I mean, yes. I mean, I can.
you know,
You know what
people
I'm
are
saying? It's just like you're not even buying into the whole package deal of the story with this.
they don't even know what's going on, man. And it's funny because they use the same trauma-based mind control tactics every single time. It was the same thing with George Floyd. 24 fucking 7. You couldn't change the channel without seeing George Floyd on the ground with the knee on his neck.
You see what BLM did already?
Constantly. Okay. So they do the same thing with BLM. And then they do the same, they get everybody, they show this MK Ultra disturbing image at you constantly 24/7, showing you the message: racism did this, United States is racist, all cops bad, riot in the streets, we need justice. That's a mind control attack. Okay. Just like with the COVID, they showed you all the dead bodies. They showed you the China footage, everybody dying, the hospitals. They showed you, oh, Andrew Cuomo, I need ventilators, all the time. So they use this. It's the same thing with this. All you see 24/7 is brutal videos of Israelis being attacked by Hamas and Muslims. It's the same thing. They're trying to invoke an emotional response out of you.
You know what? And this is like, we were kind of saying this morning on her show. I do believe that something is happening. Bad shit did happen, but I think within all of that, there is also a fuck ton of just crazy propaganda being pushed out there, just so people believe they're looking at horrific imagery and get the fuck off on it.
Yeah, I mean,
People almost getting off on sharing this shit, to be totally honest with you.
How do I know if like some of this footage is even real? And like
That's what I'm getting at, but like you're thinking it's
ago.
real, you're projecting it as real, and everybody else thinks it's real, and they're all just like desensitizing themselves to kind of fucked up shit if you think about it.
100 fucking percent, dude. And let's say they had a different perspective, right? Let's say if they wanted you to think a different way. I've seen videos out there of Hasidic Jews, Orthodox Jews in the Middle East throwing rocks at Christians, spitting at Christians, kicking up dust and dirt at Christians. I've seen videos of thousands of Israeli Jews outside of a synagogue taunting Muslims, telling them how their religion is illegitimate. When the Jewish Messiah comes, he's going to wipe the floor with their religion, telling them that how Muhammad is a false prophet. So they could show you those videos too of the youth too. The youth really love to get in on it. They really love to spit and throw rocks at the Christians in the streets, and then the elders, they co-sign it. They go right along with it. So people could show you those videos too, and it will invoke an emotional response out of you. But notice how you never see those videos. And I'm not saying one or the other is good, but they want to invoke an emotional response out of the people. So they're going to show you this horrific imagery to get your fight or flight senses going, and to get you afraid.
That's actually
defensive.
Why I think that's actually that's part of the psyop, or part of the magic is actually and I do think it has to again go back to, I've even said it, with occultism, I think it goes back to your eyes. You got to put your eye one into fight and one into flight mode. And I think like what they're doing is actually literally fucking with you with emotions that they know is actually something that's used in magic.
Dude, I mean, like really, like we're really kind of getting to like the core of it right now, which I like. And it's true, because now your fight or flight has been so fucked with by seeing all this crazy imagery in your life. When a crisis is actually going to be in your face, you're not going to know how to respond to it.
Yo, we literally just said that this morning.
This is a lot of the flip-flopping.
Yeah.
Instead of the fight, you do the flight kind of, or just the you go along with
it. Or
it.
you just freeze.
Yeah, and then that's why you
handle the situation.
spitting out shit that's like, well, I was kind of complete opposite on that 8 months ago, but I'm going to rationalize how it makes sense now because I don't want to like make any waves. I got to go with what my party is thinking now.
That's it, man.
It's fucking bizarre, man.
That's fucking Jordan Peterson for you. You know what I mean?
No,
I'm the shit out of them and clean your room before you do it. That's in you.
But it's wild how many people. Okay, so even in like our community, you could say the critical thinking community, let's call it that or whatever.
Like that.
It's amazing how many people have just like ran with the Israel torch like immediately.
I know, it's so weird.
Who like stood up to COVID narrative, who saw through George Floyd psyop, who even with Ukraine, but like this one, I'm like, really, guys? Like after all you've seen and all you've been through and showing that like a lot of the news is actually fully fake.
Yeah.
Fully. You still like they elicited, I don't know what it is. I think it's like American Christianity specifically. Like you guys there, I think it's like drilled in people's head to like Israel is like untouchable.
Yeah, I don't know what that's about.
I don't
get it. I mean, I'm a follower of Christ, dude. Like I got nothing to do with Jews. I got nothing to do with Muslims. I'm a follower of Christ. You know, like that's all I can say. I don't want to condemn anybody. I don't want to hurt anybody. I have no violent animus toward anybody. You know, I'm just out here trying to fight a satanic agenda. When I see blatant Satanism, that's what I go after. You can be Islamic, you could be Jewish, you could be Buddhist. Yeah. God bless you. I pray for you. I want nothing but prosperity and love for you, you know? But if you're a satanic freak, now that's what the Bible, that's what Christ tells me to go against. When I know you're a satanic freak, man, I'm going after it and I'm going to expose it and I'm not going to let you get away with it. You said something there that I wanted to fucking piggyback off of, but now I lost it.
Sorry, man.
Yeah, that's okay. Oh man, I was gonna say something also, and then I forgot.
I got screwed up.
Oh shit! Oh man,
that's when we got so much shit flying around. That's why you know it's a good podcast when you.
Yeah,
that's true.
Oh, you know, I did bring it up before, but I don't know if any guys heard me. I just kind of everybody was talking. Did you see what happened already with like BLM, with the BLM Chicago account on Twitter?
What happened?
I mean, you know, whatever. I'm not saying I agree with him doing this or not, but Elon Musk, I think, banned them already. I think he banned the BLM in Chicago. Like, they posted like a meme or something of like, we support Palestine, and it was like somebody coming down with like a parachute and a flag on it.
Jeez.
Well, he blocked that.
I think like he, because he said something like you've made your, I think you've made your stance obvious or something to that degree.
Thank God for you, NY. You just jogged my memory. So you talked about the phenomenon how people can like see through certain psyops but can't see through others, and that's an obvious dialectic and tactic that the social engineers and the behavioral psychologists over at the World Economic Forum and all of these world controllers do. It's like multiple mind nets, right? It's like multiple sort of like fishing hooks of like bait and psyops, like fishing psyops, right? So if you don't bite onto this bait, they got another one ready for you to bite onto. Oh, let's say you dodge that one. Well, they got another one ready for you to bite onto. Oh, let's say you dodge those. Oh, you got that. There's another one ready. So it's these multiple casts of bait and chum. And it's really up to you and your discernment to dodge as many as you can because they throw so many at you and not latch onto them, you know? So there's so many different mind nets, different traps, mouse traps, whatever fucking metaphor you want to use. They throw out multiple of them so they can get you with one of them. If they don't get you with one of them, they might get you with another one. So that's the fucking mind attack.
Oh, for sure. Same goes for red pilling people. You can get them on one thing, but maybe not something else.
Exactly.
Sorry, go ahead. Go ahead, Thrash.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's kind of. I think they're getting pretty damn good at knowing what to, to convince people or change people's minds or anything. Because something weird happened to me. It was last night. So I thought of an old channel I used to watch. Just thought of it, never looked it up, didn't say anything out loud, nothing. And then this morning, that channel popped up like in my YouTube feed. And I literally haven't seen that channel in years.
No.
And it just so happened to pop up. And then it was a video talking about Palestine and Israel. It's like,
whoa.
it's like, how did they know I was even like, I had the thought of that channel, or it's like they knew I thought of it or something, or they
Dude, I've had experiences like that too, where you just
put
you
a
don't even say
signal
it out
in
loud.
my
you just
head
think
or
it.
something.
Yeah.
Yo, I have shit pop up on my phone that I was like thinking about, like certain, like if I was especially like something that like to buy something.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking weird.
Dude, well,
Yeah.
this is proven, and you can look it up. They
And
have
it's happened to me with like my video equipment, like specific.
They have essentially MRI scanners that can scan your brain waves, and create an image of what you are thinking, and manifest it onto a screen.
Post some shit.
And
Like
record what you are thinking. It's proven. It's
I
legit.
think I might have
It's not
mentioned it.
even
A
a
while
conspiracy
ago.
theory.
Really? MRI
Yeah,
scan?
yeah. There's like something where they can actually, I think, like actually read your
Yeah.
somehow read your thoughts and almost put it into a 3D image.
I
Yeah, they
feel
put it into
I
a
don't
3D image.
know, but I feel like whatever they spray on us, what we ingest in our food, if it's full of graphene, that can communicate with our devices. That's what I think. But it's just my own little tinfoil theory.
The Rand Corporation, if you type in the Rand Corporation Internet of Bodies, you'll see that they do an entire little fun, cute little, you know how they always do these videos of how fun it is to be a slave, and the World Economic Forum has their video, you'll own nothing and be happy, and they got the friggin' cucked out guy smiling about owning nothing and being happy, you know. And so the Rand Corporation has a video about the Internet of Bodies with the nice music, la-di-da-di-da, you're gonna be a cyborg, and it's gonna be so nice. And it talks about how nanotech in your body will respond with your devices, and you'll be able to have essentially telepathic fucking connections to your technology. The Rand Corporation, it's not me saying it, it's literally on the Rand Corporation's website. So
It's like, has nobody seen Minority Report? Like, we know how this shit ends, and it's not good.
Well, Yuval Harari sits up there and he's like, my favorite show is actually Black Mirror.
Has anybody seen one Terminator?
Because Black Mirror will show you how the world is going to be. It is my favorite show.
Yo, okay.
My favorite book is actually Brave New World, because it was written by Aldous Huxley, who was also a sexual deviant like me. Yes. And we will not be able to reproduce anymore, and it will be exactly like Brave New World. We have the cloning farms already ready.
Okay, but this begs the question.
Said that. I can't find that clip anywhere. I saw it once. I can't find it anywhere. He says humans won't be able to procreate anymore, and we already have the cloning farms ready. I fucking can't find it. I swear, like, it's crazy. It's actually crazy.
Okay, but this begs the question for all you guys. Like, why? Why are they doing it? And my personal opinion is that all the control stories and the depopulation stories, I think that is the deception. And that's not what the end game is at all. That's my personal opinion. But does Harari think that it is, and Bill Gates? Yeah, I think that they think it is. But I think that is all just to prepare us for the rise of like the Antichrist. And the Antichrist, but the Antichrist is gonna be a guy who's like all love and light and shit.
Yeah, of course. It's funny. I was talking about this. I'm posting this episode tomorrow. I usually only post on Sundays, but I've been recording more at a higher clip. And since like the news is so crazy, I had a guest on my show, Miriam Shaw. She does a show called Moms on a Mission. She actually really fucking brought it, you know, and like we were cutting to the bone of this, and it's really sad because people talk about peace in the Middle East, and I wish we could achieve peace in the Middle East. And you know, when peace in the Middle East is going to come, it's going to come through the Antichrist. When the Antichrist rises, he is going to bring peace to the Middle East. And it's actually very sad and very morbid that the way we actually do achieve peace in the Middle East is through the Antichrist. And it's really just a sad, poetic metaphor, theme in the grand script that the creator has made in this world. It's actually really sad and tragic, but that's what we're seeing now. That's what we're talking about. Biblical prophecies being like in so many different forms. It's being manifested right in front of our eyes. You see all these people talk about how they openly want the mark of the beast. They openly want surveillance under your skin. They openly say it. The World Economic Forum's logo is 666. CERN's logo is 666. CERN tries to open portals to other dimensions. That's their whole fucking gig. They do rituals to fucking Hindu gods in the back of their fucking thing, and they wear robes and all sorts of weird shit. And they do weird rituals where they dress up as demons and shit before they open their collider and stuff. So these people are fucking hardcore, man. They're all about it. The Vatican, the Serpent Cathedral, everybody's seen the Serpent fucking Cathedral. So these people are hardcore with their symbolism, and they tell you that they want to manifest the revelation prophecies in real life. So one or two things are happening. Either it's real what's written in the Bible, or these people want to fucking manifest it. They want to make it real.
Yeah, to a certain extent, I do think there is like an effort to kind of like
a karmatic sort of
push humanity down the shitter just to make the whole thing crumble. That's like a Frankist.
I mean, dude, Haran
redemption through sin, right?
Haran says it all. He says, we are making the room. The new synthetic organism will be the dominant species on the world. It will not be organic life. It would be silicon life. They fucking say it, man. It's like it's all there. They want, like you just said, they want to manifest a new life form. It's like Martin Rothblatt putting his wife's fucking consciousness on a disc so he can manifest it into the cloud. It's fucked up.
Well, that is like some Black Mirror type shit right there. I think episode pretty much. I think that was like one of the ending episodes for one of the seasons, something like that.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I can't hate on the globalists. I can't, because their actions are pushing forth a good ending. Okay, for example, like you said, you're a follower of Christ. Can you get mad at Judas for what he did? Because if he didn't, would you have salvation through the cross? You gotta say thank you, Judas, for what the fuck you did. Yo, for real. And that's what the elites are doing right now for us on behalf of humanity. Thank you, elites.
Honestly,
thank you. It's a fucked up way to think, but they're not wrong. They're not wrong. The thing is that they think they can get to decide who lives and who dies and who's rich and who's poor. They think they can decide it, which they have no right to do that. But by their actions, they are propelling us toward a greater good. That's fucked up.
It's the great separation. It's the wheat from the chaff. It's like it's all written about. It's all in there.
You know what I was?
Excuse me. Sorry.
I was thinking about before, but I was like, you'd have to take the Bible kind of almost literal. And since you're doing that now, then I'll toss my idea around. You were even saying before about, I guess, like the Antichrist is going to come, and I guess in the whole story with the Antichrist, people kind of look up to that person. And I was like thinking, I'm like, what's crazy is that nowadays there is probably more people who actually worship like movie stars and politicians than there was followers of that religion when it started.
Yeah, it's all
like how do you even gauge now who this person that's going to seem to be a savior? Because like
he's going to be the ultimate celebrity. He's going to.
I mean, yeah. Who? You know what I'm getting at? That kind of like puts the bar pretty fucking low. I don't know.
I mean, really though, I know.
Like, how many followers did Jesus have at that time? There's more people who worship Trump now.
Yeah,
totally.
So how do you know who the fucking Antichrist is going to be if it's somebody who's looked at upon as like a savior? Because like, you could be Insta famous and be a savior now. Instagram famous and you're a savior. So I mean,
isn't that crazy?
It's just like makes you think. It's like, damn, like how maybe you won't even see it coming.
I'm sure a lot of people won't.
Because a lot of people want to start predicting like who this, the Antichrist is going to be.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, I think a lot of people. At this
point, you have no fucking idea because everybody's idolizing somebody.
For sure, it's going to be hard to know, but That's why I'm saying I don't think it's going to be this like big scary like Big Brother thing.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be like somebody who's maybe like a Ram Dass or like
That's what he's
like
described as.
Luke.
I mean, it's kind of it describes him as a charismatic, kind of handsome, likable, relatable person, really that's what it describes him. So like that's what you need to look for. And really what I think we're going to see is we're going to see a lot more strife in the Middle East. We're going to see a lot more war. We're going to see a lot more crises. That's what Klaus Schwab always says. We need to have the crisis. We need to have the crisis on top of the crisis. And so we put the multiple crises, and so we have the fusion of the crisis. Yes. So like they literally call it polycrisis. So multiple crises. And as the crises continue to mount against us, everybody's going to be put in a lot of dire straits. And the Antichrist is going to come when everybody is looking for something to grasp on, is in desperate, super dire straits. And that's how people are going to get glamorized. So the crisis. Yes, the crisis. But then but you're gonna be so fucking burnt out on all these crises. You're gonna be like, oh my god, I just need a break somewhere, something. And then this guy's gonna come and he's gonna be like, I got you, bro. Just take my mark of the beast, man. That's all you gotta do, dude. We got this. Are you an unbeliever though? You don't want my mark of the beast?
I haven't even thought like, well, things just get
Off for your head.
Things get just so shitty at some point that it'll just almost be like you're just fucking like fine.
And even if you have,
you know what I'm saying? Like this could be like 10, 15 years from now, and just look how things have gotten in the last few years. Let's let's double that, and then like see where people's how much more they can take. Then
you'll be so fucking desperate, even if you have discernment, you'll take it.
Because like one of the reasons, and like I really hope it doesn't happen, and like I'm not gloom and doom.
Yeah.
I'm really not saying that, and like I hate to say it, but like I think where unfortunately where I live, it's not even something I have to worry about. So I mean, there's that factor as well. I hate to sound like an asshole. Listen, I'm just
Me too, bro. I'm right next door.
I never bullshit. I'm always honest.
I'm right next door.
I'm gonna keep it real.
Yeah.
I'm kind of in a place where I was like assuming I wouldn't have to worry about shit.
If Babylon's gonna burn, you and I are gonna fucking burn with it.
I'll have some notice beforehand, I'm sure.
Yeah.
So, but what I was getting to is like, when I saw that stuff with BLM, I'm like, and then there was like I think another one too where their site, they already started going with this whole thing with Palestine. I was like, yo, are you gonna tell me that like what we had 4 years ago is now going to run with like off of this? You remember? Because like last time we had all that shit because of George Floyd, right? Before, and it's like now a year prior to the next elections, all of a sudden BLM's popping up again with some wild accusations. And it's like, yo, you're writing off of like a religious war technically.
Yeah. Well, maybe
they're turning it into something you can pimp the fuck out right now.
Exactly. What you just said it right there. You just said it.
It makes no sense.
You just said it. They're pimping it out. They realize that
if you go by how that place was formed, what BLM was about, that makes no sense.
And they say they're Marxists. They don't give a fuck about what cause they have. They're just Marxists. So they're going to pimp out, like you just said, and they're going to latch on to anything that they can do. And hey, oh man, I can get away with shit if I'm a radical Islamicist now. Let's fucking be that.
But just like watch like somehow them and Antifa just start fucking popping off again. It'd be like, really? Like at this point now, like if that was to happen, it's like just typical like script. As last year.
Yeah.
Just a different way to sell it.
They need another George Floyd kind of situation. They need like a little Muslim girl like getting beat up in the Bronx or some shit. You know what I mean?
My brother is in the NYPD, so I guess if they're expecting anything, he'll probably let me know.
Fucking crazy, bro.
They seem to know like a day or two before these riots happen too, which I think
and people want to say, oh, like you're black pilled, oh, you're this and that. Like, I'm not black pilled, dude. I'm just fucking looking at the situation for what it is. And I'm trying my best to sort of discern and, connect those dots, just trying to see like where this all leads, trying to be prepared, trying to be spiritually fortified, trying to be ready for this shit. Because shit's going to fucking go down one way or another. And you can be on one side or the other.
Yeah. Better not to be blindsided completely, right?
So you want to, if you're a sheep in the woods, wouldn't you want to know that there's wolves out there ready to slaughter you and eat your ass? You know,
Some people would prefer not to know. I think
they
actually
just
that's
want,
a lot
they
of
just want to
people.
get devoured. Yeah, I know some people want. Yeah,
They'd rather just live a happy existence till the
some
time
people
comes, and
want
then
to abuse you.
that was my favorite song as a
Some
3-year-old.
people want
What
to
does that say
be
about me? I don't fucking
abused.
know.
I don't even
True.
think they'll be abused.
Yeah.
I think that they, if anybody says that, they just, oh, that's a conspiracy or something.
It's
Mhm.
almost like a subconscious, like they want to be abused, though. It's like, why wouldn't you even want to like try to look into it and find out for it, like for yourself? Why don't you just dismiss it blindly as a conspiracy theory? Like, why don't you want to know? Like, you want to be blindsided. You want to be like fucking just like, oh wow, it has nothing to do with me. I had no way of knowing it. Fuck shit.
It's like that character in the Matrix, the one who wants to go back to sleep and gets
Yeah,
the steak and Cypher. Oh, that's a funny name for him.
Yeah, they won't even look it up to see if it's stupid or not. They just,
No.
it's stupid.
No, I have a lot of friends like that actually. They
Crazy.
prefer not to know.
Shit.
Yeah. They're like, Teresa, I know it's fucked up, but don't tell me.
It's
'cause I don't
something
wanna
that I
know.
can't
Like,
relate
alright.
to. It's like inhuman to me.
It's so bizarre to me.
You know, it's
but
like as a human being, like, don't you have like a thirst for intrigue? Don't you have like a critical mind? Don't you want to like, wow, that like kind of that's fucking weird.
something only like 1/3 of people have an internal monologue. I was
That's
like,
fucked, man.
doesn't everybody have that? And
I-
like,
No,
I
that's
thought
1/3.
that's
Oh my
what
God.
some weird statistic.
There's
yeah,
really NPCs then.
there's
man.
for real actual.
you know how boring that's gotta be.
I was like, what? And I thought for the longest time, like when I hear music, like I see like a whole montage like in my head of like what is going on and like colors, and it's like a movie in like my mind.
Right?
And I said to my mom one time, I was like, yeah, like doesn't this like, don't you like see this like vision in your head when you hear a song? She's like, no. I'm like, what?
Wow.
I was like,
I
what?
know. It's like every time I'm listening to friggin' metal or metalcore, I'm like fucking playing like Devil May Cry in my mind. I'm like fucking just
Yeah,
slashing.
you remember that
stuff,
game?
like-
That shit was badass.
Yeah, dude. I'm just like
Oh
boom,
my
jumping, boom, gunning, sword.
Holy fuck,
It's like
that
every
was-
time I listen to metal, it's so funny you fucking say that, Teresa. You know, it's like really like that's so true. That's something. I guess people like, wow, that's crazy.
It's like, how do you live like that? I just,
It's
and
crazy.
we all assume, this is the thing, we all assume that everyone has the same perception of life that we have, but they don't.
It's wild, right?
You
Wild
know,
shit.
we are
Yeah.
all perceiving this whole shit show differently a little bit.
That's why I had even said, like, when I think I might have talked about it on the Eyeball series. Take a rose and you put it on the floor and you put 8 people around it. Everybody's got a different view of that rose, even though they're all looking at the same thing.
Right.
Mhm.
Still gonna have a different, it's gonna look different regardless where you are, but it's the same thing,
Yeah. Perspective.
Yes, totally.
Some people have none.
Yeah.
Or just take the one that they're given. And
Yeah.
that's why
Yeah,
you need
this
the repetitive images on TV and on social media. And that's why you need that to sell the perception of the truth.
Yeah, 100 fucking %, guys.
imagine that's all it was for the whole COVID thing, was just to see like how many willing people would buy the bullshit we start throwing at them after this.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
It's like a litmus test. Where are they at right now?
they admit, they say it. Bill Gates says it. This was pandemic 1. We're getting you ready for pandemic 2. Yeah. We're really
He
like
has said that. I've heard him say it.
disturbed to see that many people didn't take our vaccines. So we want to make sure that the vaccine, the next one's even better.
You're almost as creepy as he is.
Well, dude, I mean, like to do the impressions properly, you really gotta
Yeah.
resonate with the spirit. You know what I mean?
That was that was great. Thank you.
Oh, the carbon's like really high. That's because the population's too big. And if we do a really good job with vaccines and GMO mosquitoes and blocking out the sun, we could get the population lower. I mean, really though.
Yeah.
And he has said all that shit too, which is really weird.
And like he
Yeah,
says shit on stage, and people are like, ha, 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 yes, Bill Gates, yay.
Yeah, there's all these sound bites like you're talking about, the World Economic Forum, Bill Gates,
Yeah.
all these people that just saying all the craziest stuff. And then if you bring it up to somebody, they'll just
You're the
think you're
crazy one.
crazy.
It's
They
like,
look at
dude,
you like you're nuts.
I know. It's
You
like,
won't even
dude,
take
I
your word
didn't
for it.
say
All the
it.
other
They
things.
said it. Like, it's not me. Like, Yuval Harari says it. Humans are now hackable animals. Yes, the KGB couldn't do it. The Nazis couldn't do it. But now we have the power to have surveillance under your skin. And they're like, yay! What the fuck is that?
Yeah,
You're like, who's cheering for this shit?
I
That
don't
was-
get it.
that was even like not too long ago. Was it 2 weeks ago? Was it in Canada where they had the SS guy there?
Oh yeah,
Like,
the Nazi came to Parliament. Oh my God, Andrew Schulz, the comedian, he made such a good joke about it because the guy who came is actually Ukrainian.
Yeah.
So it's like he joined like the Nazis like by choice.
Oh,
He's saying,
I
right?
know the whole story.
Yeah, and he
oh
was
yeah,
like,
you did something on it too, didn't you?
Yeah, and
Yeah,
he
I mean, I just did like Owen Schroy. I dissected Owen Schroyer's analysis and I made like a little reel about it because the speaker of the Canadian Parliament, so he's reading it. They give him the fucking script. He doesn't know what's going on, right?
It was so funny.
he's
Yeah,
like,
that's
"Listen,
right.
no."
Yes,
he's
that
like,
shit was hilarious, dude.
he's like, we have Ukrainian Canadian that fought the Russians in World
It's
War
like-
II. And he fucking jerks back,
Yeah,
and his eyebrows fucking light up because he realizes what he just
Yeah.
in his mind. You see the wheels turning.
That
He's
shit
like,
was
who
funny.
fought the Russians? Who fought the Russians? Oh, the Nazis fought the Russians. Oh, and then everybody's clapping, and it's too fucking late. And
Yeah,
it's too
you can
fucking
see
late.
the thought process going on through his eyes and his face movements that he's just like, wow,
And then
yeah.
he's got to be fucking fired. He's forced to resign afterwards when they just give him a script. He's the scapegoat to be sacrificed. And then Justin Trudeau, he's like, we're very sorry on behalf of all Canadians. We're very sorry. And we don't want a Nazi here, and especially on Yom Kippur. We want all of our Jewish people in the parliament to be very happy, and we're very sorry, and we apologize. And I'm like, dude, on behalf of all Canadians, you apologize. You're sorry on behalf. You should be saying sorry to all Canadians because you're a fucking embarrassment.
Yeah. And the best part too was the next day or like next time Parliament had session or whatever, one of the female liberal MPs who stood up and tried to like, she asked for that whole incident to be struck from the record completely. And like, let's pretend that
1984,
shit
bro.
never happened. She, one, was pregnant and Jewish. I'm like, what an insult to this person. You're making her like get up and do your dirty work for you, asking to pretend that shit never happened. We all saw it in real time. Like,
It's
get
the
the
most-
fuck out.
It's the most 1984 situation you can fucking imagine, especially how they detained the UK journalist that like broke the story. They fucking kicked his door down. And they're like, you reported on this. You were the one that broke the story. We're arresting you for malinformation. Not
Really?
disinformation, not misinformation. They say malinformation now is a word that they fucking use.
Okay.
Saying that what you said is true, but it's fucking with our narrative. So it's bad information, malinformation. Fucking 1984 double thought crime.
Oh yeah. Well, and then you have the people involved in the Freedom Convoy, trucker convoy, a year ago.
Yep.
They called all the people there
Oh my God.
Nazis and far right this, blah blah. Meanwhile, Trudeau's people are planting actual fake Nazis in the crowd so that the Toronto Star can get that one shot of that one guy with that one flag and call them Nazis, the whole group. But then you have an actual Nazi in Parliament. Oh, it's fine. It's not bad. And the Anti-Defamation League was like, no, it's okay because the part of the regiment he was in was actually like not really Nazis. They were only like
it's
kind
okay.
of Nazis.
He's a good Nazi. The Anti-Defamation League says so. He's a good Nazi. We say that. George Soros is a good Nazi. He was a good Nazi. The Azov Battalion, they're good Nazis. But you Trump supporter, you person that doesn't want to get vaccinated, you person that doesn't want an open border, you person that doesn't want to chop your son's dick off, you're actually a Nazi. But we have actual Nazis that we fund in fucking Ukraine and that we clap for in the Canadian Parliament.
Also, a lot of people were like, "Yo, back up the truck."
This is the absurdity or the flip flop that makes no sense, man.
Yeah, and people were like, "How was this guy even living here the whole time anyway?"
Yo, do you see him at the Canadian Parliament too? He's like wiping the sweat off of his brow, and when everybody's like clapping for him, he's like, "Oh my God, yes! Oh my God, I've been living in secret as a Nazi my entire life. Now it's okay. Oh, thank God!" And then he's like, "It's like, sorry,
and then,
bro."
Because he showed his head, Poland was like, "Yo, bro, we want to extradite you. Come over. You might be 90, however many years old. We don't care. Poland is the shit."
Yeah, I like the Poland leader. He's fucking awesome. I've seen a lot of cool quotes from him.
Oh, man.
Nice guy.
Nice guy, very nice guy. The Poland leader. Okay, he's a very good guy, beautiful person. Okay. Nancy Pelosi, sick person, demented person. What they're doing to our country, it's really terrible. It's really terrible. You see these books they're putting in class, gender queer? Gender queer? Okay, they want the Marxist and they want the radical left. The radical left. Biden and the radical left want to chop off your son's penis. It's terrible. It's terrible, truly terrible. Millions and billions, millions and billions and trillions, maybe. Penises being chopped off. And it's a tragedy. It's terrible.
It's not good.
It's truly not good. It's truly not good.
You say some shit like that.
You see the squad. You see AOC. Ilhan Omar. Has anybody seen Ilhan Omar? Yes.
Oh my God.
She's a jihadi. She's a jihadi. She wants to chop your son's both his heads off. Both his heads.
Fuck.
Oh, it's great.
You know, I wanted to
that was awesome.
say a little something what you guys are talking about.
Go ahead,
It's pretty interesting how a lot of it seems like whether they're Jewish or whoever, like people, they just don't care about if they're Nazi or not. You know, you look back at MK Ultra and Sidney Gottlieb was Jewish and everything. He just didn't even care. He just brought them over and it didn't even seem like he had any remorse, didn't care what they did.
Yeah.
Nothing. And then you'll hear it from MK Ultra doctors. They'll ask them, "Oh, well, they were Nazis. What were they doing here?" And, you'll hear the doctor, "Oh, they weren't real Nazis. They weren't real. They were just a part of the military."
They just throw the Jews into the gas chamber and shot them in the shooting lines and ransacked their homes, but they're not bad Nazis. It's not okay. And George Soros, he just lined out his entire neighborhood and talked to the Nazis and told them where to get his family and all this shit. But he's not a bad Nazi. He was in a bad predicament. But you're the bad Nazi. But you're the bad Nazi because you don't want a fucking injection in your body. Right. And you don't want migrants living on your fucking property. You're the Nazi because you're a constitutional American. Now all of a sudden you're a Nazi. But the actual people that call you Nazi fund actual fucking Nazis.
Wow.
So this is the satanic inverted world that we live in.
Yeah, that's what I keep saying, right? How it's actually total contradiction of itself. It's so bizarre.
And Jordan Peterson says, "Oh, we're anti-war," and he's a Christian, and he's Mr. Sensitive, and clean your damn room, but he wants to bomb the shit out of all of these fucking villages. Clean your damn room. You're gonna have no room by the time Netanyahu is.
I swear to God, I think about that quote every day when I wake up. Jordan Peterson being like, "To change your life, you need to clean your room," and I'm like,
I know, and it's like, dude,
it's
fuck you, man.
I'm like, my room is fine.
Fuck you, Jordan. Honestly, Jordan Peterson, you really piss me the fuck off when you say like kill everyone. You're wishing for genocide on people.
Wow, I didn't know he said
It's
that.
as
Yeah, he
emotional
tweeted.
as
He's
the
like, give them
bluegrass
hell,
band.
living you.
What thrash did you say?
I said it's as emotional as the bluegrass band he saw. There's a clip of him just crying over seeing this like rockabilly band or
Come
something at a
on.
bar, and it's the funniest thing ever.
I saw this bluegrass band and I read the Bible for the first time after I cleaned my bed. Damn pronouns aren't in the Bible.
Yeah.
I think that's so funny.
No, but seriously though, like on a real tip, instead of being goofy, like that pisses me off because like you're not helping anything, dude. And you're Mr. Intellectual, you're Mr. fucking sage of wisdom and all this shit, and you're literally a warmonger now. I don't know if you got fucking stock in Raytheon and Boeing or Lockheed Martin, Jordan Peterson. It's pretty sketchy.
Yeah.
Nah,
Yeah,
he's all about the money.
That is a little weird. Yeah.
Well, I think
So,
that,
like for instance, he's kind of like in the like, you know, making men better kind of thing and everything. And then his daughter's over there hanging out with Andrew Tate and everything to try to get the grift from the Andrew Tate people to come over to the Jordan Peterson to get even more money from. Yeah, it's
that's why I think
whole
they
gimmick.
have these talking heads in place, you know, to get you to be like, oh yeah, I love Andrew Tate. He's the shit. He knows how to be a real man. And the Ben Shapiro's and the Breitbart people like the Daily Wire, all those guys. And then when a conflict like this occurs and they give their opinion, a lot of the people who align with 90% of what they think is going to be like, oh yeah, I should really support this side because so-and-so does.
You know what? And you know what, man? Like you just said it all, like all of these conservative ink platforms and all of like these sort of viral people and stuff like that. Like, I don't know if Andrew Tate is captured like kind of like conservative ink is. I think he's mostly like his own man and has his own opinions. But I mean, I really like InfoWars, you know, like when I listen to InfoWars, I've been listening to Owen Schroyer's analysis about this, right? And he's completely aligned with what I'm saying. I was thinking I had this exact perspective before I listened to anything so I at least appreciate that they're consistent. You know, they never backed the Ukraine war and Russia war. They never had a dog in the fight. And they don't have a dog in the fight with this one. They keep talking about what really affects Americans. And, you know, that's one thing is, it's like I can actually I can sit like that example, and like they've had me on, man. Like I've been on the American Journal, like so like I can actually say that like I trust them for sure, you know, and like they have the consistent value, you know. So there really is people out there that are real, and they're not in like sort of the conservative ink. So you know, just saying that. I don't know, fucking thought I had. Might as well bring it up.
You're good, man.
It's a fair opinion.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Don't me chat, all right?
No.
Fucking Zionists still, bro. Oh yeah, we're Zionists. Okay, yeah, exactly.
I don't care.
You can never win, right, guys? You can never win. You can never be perfect.
No,
No.
you can't. Fuck that.
No.
Fuck them.
You had an opinion.
I let somebody in chat have a few of theirs, and then they disappeared. You got a few of them in. Now you can move the fuck on. So don't worry about it.
Okay.
That is the you know what? And I was gonna wrap it up there if you don't mind. I did tap in the chat before you said anything. I need to wrap this up, so it wasn't like, you know, I'm wrapping it up now because of what you just.
Wherever you want. Wherever you want.
No, it just seems.
I got some leftover pizza waiting for me, so
we're gonna wrap it up now.
fucking wrap it up already.
Eat my pizza, bro.
Yeah, no, I gotta. Yo, that was a lot of laughs, dude. I had a good time. Thank you very much. That was exactly what I was hoping for.
Thanks,
so
bro.
that worked. Yeah, that worked out great, man. I thought that was a couple of, you know, we had some interesting chats on some serious things, but we still had some laughs.
That's what it's about.
Hell yeah, because I think being serious all the time, you're just like, screw you up.
Yeah, informative and humanizing, man. That's what I like try to go for. I just try to fucking be real, even though I'm like probably obnoxious and annoying to most people. I guess I am, I'm probably obnoxious and annoying to myself, most times, but that's what I try to fucking do. And that's what I do on my podcast. And I'm happy you guys let me come on here and fucking just be
of course, man.
bastard.
Hell yeah. That was a good time. Thank you. Teresa, for people that are listening.
Sure. Well, thank you for having me. And Joe, it was great to meet you. I think you're hilarious. But yeah, the people can check me out on the Spiritual Gangsters podcast with you and our new spin-off show, Clown World Weekly, where we have lots of fun like this, basically. But yeah, it's a good time, and you can find me most active on Instagram. Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Thank you very much. Thresh, is there anything that you would like to plug?
Yeah, I guess my Instagram, Narmosh Thrash, all one word. I just created my pages, my my podcast's Instagram page today. It's Thrash_talk, but I've been working on a video, but there's nothing on there yet. So,
All right, well, I'll throw it in there. So, by the time maybe when some people get to it, maybe they'll be there. So.
Yeah.
Thrash_talk. Thrash_talk.
Yeah, like
yes,
that's you give them followers, y'all. All right, let's build the foundation for them.
Heck yeah!
Please
start.
And then in a week or two, in about 2 weeks, we're gonna also record part 4 of our MK Ultra. So,
oh shit, hell yeah!
Getting closer. I think it'll be 5 parts, and it should actually be dropping. I think part 1 in like maybe a month from now. So.
Fuck yeah!
Yeah. It was kind of like a deep dive on pre and during MK Ultra. So.
Yeah, we talked a lot about that in this episode.
I always love talking about that shit. I think it's so important, honestly.
It is because it's everywhere around you. Yeah.
It's on my mind. Oh.
It's been like 6-7 months of looking into it, so it's kind of hard.
Gotcha. Awesome. All right. So yeah, Thrash, I'll make sure I include your Instagram in the bottom for people that check this out. And Joe, please plug yourself again and let everybody know where they could find your stuff.
Yeah, my home now is Rumble. Really is where the stuff really happens. I also post on Spotify, but I really would like for you to go to the Rumble channel. It's just if you search "Connect Those Dots," you'll find it. It's right there. Boom. As soon as you type in "Connect Those Dots" into the Rumble search bar, you'll see my page, and it's starting to really grow. We're having some great guests, as I mentioned before. We're getting thousands of views now on Rumble, so it's actually starting to really fucking take off, and it's dope. You can follow my Instagram is _connect those dots _ and that's where a lot of fun happens. I make a lot of great reels. I make a lot of sort of like the condense stuff into quick reels that I talk about in podcasts. So I put a lot of work into it there, and you can really only see those reels on Instagram. So it's definitely worth a follow. And also follow me on X. Follow me on X, y'all. The X is
you're on there?
The X is a little bit limited. I'm like a little bit. I'm a wee baby on the X. So follow me at Connect Those. That's my X handle is Connect Those. Amen.
Nice.
Love you.
Awesome. All right. Yeah. I think I have. Do you have a link tree?
I got a link tree. Yeah, I got a link tree.
That's already. Yeah, that's already in the notes.
Tree,
I got that all in there already. So yes. Yeah. So, yeah, I had his link tree in there already. So yeah, check out his stuff. Everybody's links are in the bottom. Thank you again, all of you, for coming on. I had a really good time. I had great laughs. I had interesting chat, and it was everything that I hoped. So until the next one, everybody be well. Later.